Imagine you're denying reality. It's about seeing clearly. Philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You can't stop people from speaking, but you can stop giving their words free rent in your mind. Try this mental shift next time someone insults you. Ask, what does this say about them? And what does my reaction say about me? You'll find that most insults are just noise, and noise only gets loud when we choose to listen. Think of your mind like a fortress. But the walls, they're built from your attention. Every moment, you're either reinforcing that fortress or leaving the gate wide open. Here's a truth the Stoics lived by. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. You don't control other people's opinions, or traffic, or the weather. But you do control your choices, your interpretations, your focus. And that's enough. This mindset is liberating. It means you can stop wasting energy on things that were never yours to carry. Repeat this to yourself. Is this within my control? No. Then it's not worth my peace. That's not indifference. That's wisdom. Here's a technique that will change your life. Preparation through imagination. It's called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Every morning, visualize a few things going wrong. Yes, wrong. Your coffee spills. Someone interrupts you. You get criticized. Now picture yourself responding with calm, with composure, with grace. Why do this? Because expecting adversity trains your nervous system to stay grounded when it arrives. And it always does. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, I will encounter interference, ingratitude, rudeness, selfishness, and ignorance. This isn't pessimism, it's resilience. When the storm hits, you won't be surprised. You'll be ready. There's a trick to dealing with people who thrive on drama. Don't give them fuel. Every angry outburst, every emotional jab, it's a fire looking for oxygen. And if you feed it, it grows. But if you don't, it dies. Silence, detachment, a raised eyebrow, a calm breath. These are your weapons. When someone expects rage and gets indifference, they lose control. Not you, the real flex, walking away without saying a word. Not because you're weak, but because you're above it. Control isn't loud, it's silent, still. None of this matters if it's just theory. If you want to be unshakable, you have to train for it. Daily, just like an athlete trains their body. You must train your mind. Start small. Every morning, journal your thoughts for 5 minutes. Each night, reflect. Where did I react emotionally? What can I do differently tomorrow? Meditate. Even if it's just 3 minutes of stillness, over time, you'll notice the shift. You'll be less reactive, more observant. You'll catch the anger before it takes over. You'll see the insult and feel nothing. Not numbness, but clarity, because discipline isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering your response, and that's the key to true power. So, let's put it all together. You reframe the insult. You recognize what's within your control. You visualize the worst, so you're ready for it. You respond with calm, and you build discipline daily. This is the path of the philosopher, not in books or classrooms, but in life, on the subway, in traffic, in meetings, at dinner tables. Every interaction is a chance to practice. And every time you choose peace over rage, stillness over chaos, you grow stronger. The unbothered mind isn't born. It's built brick by brick, moment by moment. And yes, it takes effort. But so does suffering. So choose your hard. Now, here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, practice this. Anytime someone disrespects you, pause. Don't react. Breathe. Observe. And ask yourself, do I want to give them control over my inner world? Then choose not to. Write down your experiences each day. Notice how the same situations begin to affect you less. Watch your power grow, and when you've done it, come back and share your story in the comments. You might be surprised how much you've changed in just a week. If this video gave you a new perspective, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another episode in this journey toward inner mastery. Let's keep growing, one principle at a time. Here's something most people miss. The reason we get offended so easily is because we're too attached to our identity. Someone criticizes your work, it feels personal. Someone questions your beliefs, it feels like a threat. But here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. You are not your job title. You are not even your reputation. You're the awareness behind all of it. When you see that clearly, insults lose their edge. Buddhist philosophy often echoes this same wisdom. The self is an illusion. And when you stop clinging to it, the world can't hurt what you no longer defend. Try this. The next time you feel offended, ask yourself, what am I defending right now? My ego, my pride, or something that actually matters? Most of the time, you'll find it's not worth it. The ego will demand revenge, but wisdom, it just smiles. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is your power. Most people don't use it. Someone insults them. They snap back. Someone cuts them off. They explode. It's autopilot. But the Stoics trained that space. They widened it. They lived in it. And you can too. Try this practice. When something triggers you, count to 5 before responding. Not to suppress the feeling, but to observe it. Notice how your first impulse is usually emotional. But if you wait, reason returns. Clarity returns. You return. This pause is where self-mastery lives. In just 5 seconds, you can go from reactive to reflective. And in those moments, your entire life begins to shift. Here's one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're right. Don't argue. Don't prove. Don't explain. Just observe. It's easy to feel the need to correct people, to prove a point, defend your side, explain your intentions. But ask yourself, what's the goal if someone misunderstands you and doesn't want to understand? Is debating them worth your energy? Often, silence is more powerful than a perfect argument. The Stoics believed that truth defends itself. It doesn't need a megaphone, it needs integrity. So next time you're tempted to win an argument, remember, peace is the real victory. Let them talk. You walk. Mastery isn't about avoiding emotion. It's about transmuting it. Imagine anger not as something to suppress, but as energy, raw power. Now imagine channeling it into something greater. Use it to create. Use it to build. Use it to protect, not destroy. This is what philosopher Aurelius meant when he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." It's called emotional alchemy, turning negative emotion into focused intention. So don't run from your emotions, harness them. Anger becomes boundaries. Sadness becomes empathy. Frustration becomes fuel. This is the real art of Stoicism. Not becoming emotionless, but becoming emotionally intelligent. People often think emotional mastery is about how you handle major confrontations. But really, it's built in the small, boring moments when someone interrupts you and you stay patient, when your coffee order is wrong and you smile anyway, when traffic is slow and you let go. These micro moments train your nervous system. They rewire your mind. You're not just staying calm, you're becoming calm. So don't wait for some big test of your stoicism. It's happening right now, in the tiny annoyances, the subtle slights, the eye rolls, the silence. Master those. And the big things, they won't shake you either. Here's a mindset that will soften your heart without weakening your resolve. Everyone is carrying something invisible. That rude person in the grocery line, they might have just lost a loved one. That coworker who gossiped about you, maybe they're drowning in insecurity. Understanding this doesn't mean tolerating disrespect, but it helps you not take it personally. The Stoics didn't just talk about logic, they practiced compassion. As Seneca wrote, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. You never lose by being kind, but you often lose your peace when you aren't." Let's make something clear. Remaining calm isn't weakness, it's strength. Anybody can yell, anybody can lash out, but it takes true power to stay composed, to hold your center when the world is off balance. Philosophy isn't about sounding wise, it's about living wisely, in how you treat others, in how you hold yourself, in how you respond when nobody's watching. If you can do that, you've already won the inner war, and the world, it won't be able to touch you. So here's the recap. Reframe insults as noise. Focus only on what you can control. Expect challenges and prepare for them. Starve anger by refusing to feed it. Train your discipline like a muscle. Detach from ego and live in the pause. Choose peace over pride. See the humanity in others. This isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. It's about becoming a little more unshakable each day. Now, I invite you to truly test this philosophy. For the next 7 days, keep a small journal. Each time you feel provoked, pause, breathe, write it down, reflect each night on how you responded. You'll be amazed at what changes, not in them, but in you. And if this video sparked something in you, let's keep that fire going. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because this journey, it's just beginning. We're building a community of thinkers, seekers, and inner warriors, one principle at a time. And remember, the mind, once trained, becomes your most powerful shield. Here's a powerful truth that Stoicism and many Eastern philosophies quietly teach. What angers you reveals you. Let that sink in. When someone pushes your buttons, it's not them you should look at first. It's the button itself. Why did it exist? Why was it so easy to trigger? Every emotional reaction is a mirror. It reflects a part of yourself that still needs healing, understanding, or strengthening. So next time you're offended, try this. Don't ask, why did they do that? Ask, why did I react this way? This shift changes everything. Because when you use discomfort as a teacher, every insult becomes a lesson. Every challenge, a mirror. And with enough mirrors, you finally see yourself clearly. One of the Stoics' greatest strengths wasn't in how they reacted to life, but in how they prepared for it. They didn't wait to decide how to behave in the moment. They made pre-decisions before they left their homes. They reminded themselves, I will meet arrogant people today. I will face setbacks. I will be misunderstood. So when it happened, they weren't shocked. They weren't offended. They were ready. You can do the same. Decide now how you'll act when someone mocks you, someone lies about you, someone betrays your trust. Write it down, memorize it, because when emotion is high, access to reason is low. That's why you prepare before the storm hits. Pre-decide your principles, then live by them, especially when it's hardest. Let's clear something up. A lot of people hear detachment and think it means becoming cold, number uncaring. That's not it. Detachment is not indifference. It's clarity. You're not ignoring your emotions. You're just not enslaved by them. You're not suppressing anger. You're just not letting it run your life. Think of a wise old tree. The wind blows, storms come. People carve names in its bark. And yet, it stands. It doesn't fight the wind. It doesn't scream at the rain. It just remains deeply rooted. That's what detachment looks like. That's what we're aiming for. Not a lack of feeling, but a strength that feels everything and still chooses peace. Here's a surprising strategy for emotional mastery. Replace judgment with curiosity. When someone acts rudely, our default reaction is judgment. What a jerk. How dare they? They're so disrespectful, but judgment fuels the fire. It escalates the emotional loop. Now try curiosity instead. I wonder what made them so reactive. What fear or insecurity is underneath that? Have I ever acted like that before? You'll notice something powerful. Curiosity softens you. It doesn't make you passive. It makes you wise, because behind every rude behavior is usually fear, pain, or confusion. When you stop judging, you stop reacting. And when you stop reacting, you stay in control. Your attention is your power. Your energy is your currency. And your peace is your responsibility. Don't give these away cheaply. You don't owe anyone your reaction. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. And you don't need to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. As Marcus Aurelius said, if it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. And if it's not peaceful, don't engage with it. You are not here to be dragged into every drama. You're here to master your mind, protect your space, and live with purpose. So treat your attention like sacred ground. Not everyone gets access. Imagine the world like an ocean, sometimes calm, sometimes violent. And you're the lighthouse. You don't control the tides. You don't silence the storms. But you stay grounded. You shine anyway. Being calm doesn't mean avoiding conflict. It means carrying stillness into it. When others lose their temper, you hold yours. When others panic, you breathe deeper. When others gossip, you stay silent. And when people see that, you inspire them without trying. The calmest person in the room often holds the most power. Not because they control others, but because they've mastered themselves. Let's step back for a moment. Ask yourself, how do you want to be remembered? Not just when you're gone, but when people walk away from a conversation with you. Do they feel peace? Do they feel judged? Do they feel seen? The way you respond to life, especially to conflict, is your legacy in motion. Philosophy is not a book you read. It's not a quote you post. It's how you live, how you love, how you choose stillness over chaos again and again. So here's the final challenge. Don't just understand Stoicism. Embody it. Let it shape your mornings, your arguments, your habits, your heart. And remember, true strength isn't in force, it's in presence, because the most powerful person in any room is the one who doesn't need to prove it. If this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Comment below. What's one moment this week where you chose peace instead of reaction? Let's learn from each other. Let's build a tribe of thinkers, seekers, and soul warriors. And if you haven't already, subscribe, turn on the bell, and stay with us. Because we're just getting started. Your mind is your kingdom. Let's rule it wisely. See you in the next one.